All right, we had a disconnect.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to just quickly...
It was me, actually. Anyway, welcome back to the Dota 2 Asia Championships 2015. My name is SUNSfan, joined by syndereN. My game actually crashed in the middle of the load. And
I don't think you were the only one.
Okay, that's good to know.
So
very good to know. So this is going to be perhaps the last match that we cast of the wild card is EP versus HGT, both of which are 2-2. So whoever wins, whoever loses out.
Yeah,
like 100%. Whoever wins has a chance to go to a tiebreaker for second place, which there's a lot of variables involved, so we're not going to really get too deep into it, but we're waiting for the Chinese casters to load now. And in fact, let's see who else is. So Navi is playing Wings right now. Wings are 2-2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Navi's 4-0. They've already won. So they've apparently picked some heroes that are not typical. And
Tiny Ticky's Pudge.
Yeah, and it's mainly because they've already won. It doesn't really matter. So they're going on no matter what, which I think is the biggest surprise. I think most people were picking them to be third, fourth.
Navi?
Yeah.
I think second, third for me.
Second, third? Okay.
Yeah. And then HGT first was...
Yeah, and that's the one. That's where we come into place now. So if HGT loses, that's it for them.
That would be probably the biggest surprise
for
if
the
they
wild
don't
card.
make it. Yeah. So they have to win this, and if they do, then if Speed Gaming beats PR, then I still think HGT don't make it. Unless if I'm mistaken, let me just double check this.
There we go again. I knew you were going to get into this theory crafting of numbers, mathematics.
This is not that in-depth. Now it's not so complicated. Okay, if HGT wins and Speed wins, Speed go through. They won the heads up.
Okay.
Unless if Wings also beat Navi, then Wings beats... Wings lost to Speed, and Wings lost to HGT, so they're out anyway. So Wings are out.
Wings are out.
Regardless, because no matter... or unless EP wins this one.
I see.
If EP wins this one, then...
I see.
Then Wings are through.
So it's very complicated.
There's actually a lot of... It is pretty complicated.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew I was right.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here goes the game,
loading in.
So that's good.
You guys get to see us for a little bit. Nice loading screen.
Thank you.
You're supposed to say the same about mine. Come on.
Okay.
This is legit.
Okay, it's nice.
Look at his face.
All right, I'll say it's nice.
Okay, good.
Now give me a percentage of the chest. Okay.
I give you $5.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, you're not... you're currently frozen on the load screen. At least this time the game started, so...
Yeah, good for you. Here, I'll put the screen on yours. There you go. You get to cast the game all by yourself.
Excellent. Oh, now you're on.
Damn it.
Good.
All right, we're back on.
So, HGT versus...
Wait, look at the color difference.
Radiant team
Look at this. Yours looks horrible.
Thank you.
Why is your screen so bright? Anywho.
It's not my screen.
True that.
HGT versus Energy Pacemaker Gaming. It is going to be the decider for either of the teams, depending on the other results. Like even if
Radiant team pick.
No matter who wins, they're not even guaranteed through, I think. I'm actually pretty sure they aren't. So this one doesn't decide everything on its own. It also depends on the results of Navi, Wings, and SPG versus PR. But the team's obviously going to give it their all here because this is their last chance at making it to the main event. So HGT will be introducing the draft by picking Io after banning X-Bat. And Energy Pacemaker will be banning out Juggernaut and Venge.
Haven't seen any Juggernaut yet.
He has been picked. HGT had Juggernaut when they completely...
No, in our casts.
No, that's true. But he has been picked here in the wildcard. I saw it once. He was picked by HGT versus PR, and they
so weird to think about.
Destroyed them.
Juggernaut top-tier pick / ban.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Ooh,
they're going to get a first pick Void for Energy Pacemaker Gaming.
Okay, if this was a pub game, this game was over now.
Yeah, that's true.
And Energy Pacemaker could random their last 3 and win, because they had Void Troll.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's very powerful. It's very good against Io as well, because Io plus partner will go in somewhere. And if you get a Chrono on both of them, Void will solo Io every single time with Troll ult. Even if he doesn't have items, as long as he doesn't get stunned, he will get the kill. So if he has a BKB only, he still does like double damage because of Troll.
10 seconds
so
remaining.
very powerful combo in their own right in that sense. The one weakness is that it's very difficult for Troll to fight the targets inside the Chrono in melee form, but he can fight them in range form. So still good enough.
Time.
I think HGT still go for the Tiny, to be honest. I think it's the right pick regardless, but Okay.
They go Wiper.
Viper.
Windshield Wiper.
Immediately
Radiant
banning out the
team
AA
ban.
as well, which... Have we seen EP play that earlier today? I don't think so.
I don't think we've seen an AA.
There's the tiny
today.
Dire team ban.
I'm curious as to why they pick Viper. I get the idea with getting the attack speed slow even inside the Chronosphere, but is that
Radiant
enough
team ban.
reason to pick the Viper now? I also don't think Viper necessarily destroys Troll in lane, for example. Troll actually does fairly well against most lane dominators, such as OD. He also does fairly well against.
Radiant team pick.
Is Void a...
Let's see.
Is he a 1 or a 3?
He's probably... In this
We don't really see
composition,
three
I
too
think
often
he would
anymore,
be... I think it's a fairly good composition to play Void as a 1 when you have Troll. He just gets... Because if he gets farm, it's
Dire
ridiculous.
team
But at the
pick.
same time, you could also flip it around and say it's perfect to play him on 3, because then he doesn't need to get farm. So I honestly think when you do this opener, you keep your options open. They don't need to decide yet what role he plays. They could last pick. They could decide it with their last pick. I think that's also what they're thinking. They're gonna grab Lion. Solid pickup against IO as well. Often very easy to land a 2-target impale when they relocate in, and of course the hex against the tethered
Radiant
target's very
team
powerful
pick.
too.
And Doom's picked up by HGT,
Doom.
the counter to all heroes. What is it? Lion that was buffed with 6 damage,
I think he got more. He got like 9, didn't he?
9 damage.
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, that synergizes real well with that troll ult. I tell you what.
That's true. He hits harder now than before. He got more damage, and then
Yeah.
Troll gives him more damage.
But I mean, the Void. Okay. So with Void, you have Lion, and you have Troll.
10
So you have the attack speed. You have good team fight capabilities with just
5
Void. You go for
seconds
more.
remaining.
Yes. Silencer global. Global
Dire
silence.
team pick.
This is...
But
they-
do you go like AoE damage now? Like if
Uh,
this is a silencer as a core, or do you think it is support?
I think it's a support, because this is also... They picked Silencer against IO... what was
IO
that?
and whoever. Yeah.
Was that against... Or wait, no, never mind. They picked Silencer with IO against PR in their game earlier today. And they used it so that when they relocated in, they could just take the fight on their turns. It's kind of the
10
same logic, just
seconds
against it,
remaining.
so that when they relocate in, they can't take the fight. I think this might just
5
be their
seconds
select
remaining.
counter to / partner with IO for
Reserve
energy.
time.
I don't think there's any more reason to pick a Silencer here. It doesn't specifically counter Viper or Doom to
So
any
what's a
extent.
good hero to couple with? I mean, I guess you could technically pair Wisp with Viper or Doom, but is there any like a gyro type character where the global silence doesn't really matter? Like let's say you're tethered up, Wisp starts overcharge early just because there's a silencer, and you relocate in. Is there a character like? Do you think gyro? I mean, we don't never see gyro anymore, but I'm just saying like the global silence
It
doesn't
has
really
to have
affect them.
BKB, right?
So they have to have BKB regardless.
Yeah, because else they can't cast their spells.
I'm saying, what hero doesn't need to really cast their spells to be effective?
PA
Like,
with some crits, maybe. And
still
that,
kind of need Phantom Strike.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't think there's any hero that works for them in that sense. So,
Gyro's okay.
well, he can attack.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's
He can
not-
do wait 5 seconds for his homing missile, and
I mean, you can't cast Call Down. You can't cast Barrage. So if you've pre-cast your Flak Cannon, then you have that.
Radiant
That's true.
team
That's
ban.
decent. Or you
Yeah.
pick Slark, who can actually remove Global,
yeah, Slark's good.
which is a very nice choice
I like
here.
that one.
However, that hero is not particularly good against neither Void nor Troll. So I actually don't know if I like that. For me, out of all the games we've seen today, this is the biggest outpick for me so far.
Dire
Really?
I think
team
Energy
ban.
Pacemaker has the best pick.
Sorry, who?
Energy Pacemaker.
Who?
Energy Pacemaker Gaming
There you go.
has the best pick.
Okay.
We're gonna see if that's how it turns out. I guess it's between this game and the game between Navi and PR.
10
Those have been the two
remaining.
biggest out-strategizing games so
Mm-hmm.
far. We obviously still need to see the last
5
pick, but
seconds
I just feel
remaining.
like HGT's lineup cannot punish. They cannot punish Void Troll enough early on, and then they're
Reserve
going to be
time.
playing against Void Troll with Global in the mid game, which is going to be a nightmare for their heroes, I think. But they might prove us wrong. I mean, hopefully they have a plan with these picks. It's the most important game of the day and of the tournament for them, perhaps. So
Of their lives, even.
Radiant team
yeah, it could be
pick.
for HGT. It's well for both.
HGTs have some big matches, but
HGT
Energy
also
Peacemaker
played.
Gaming.
I want to say the biggest game of HGT's lives were in the TI4 qualifiers that they failed to qualify for, even
that
though
was
they were.
one where
favored.
they weren't top favorite, they were second.
Yeah,
They
they
were
they
slated
were
for second.
expected to make it because they had been playing extremely well lately. Especially Air had really been standing out on his Brewmaster at that point in time, and a couple of the heroes. I think they
10
played a lot more
seconds
Flame too,
remaining.
and Visage. They were just really good.
Oh,
but
sad
didn't make it.
Brewmaster.
5
That was before
seconds remaining.
people started picking up BKBs on him, and Skywrath Mage was the main counter. Sad times for him.
Reserve time.
Another minute and a half, so Energy Peacemaker Gaming has quite a bit of time.
Peacemaker.
I keep saying
Nice.
Energy
Energy Peacemaker. It sounds like the ultimate weapon.
Yeah, that's pretty nice actually.
It ends all wars.
It's just my subconscious trying to make their name not ridiculously bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Okay, late Lycan.
Dire
That's
team pick.
a little greedy.
He does not have... He doesn't work too well with Void, but he works very well with Troll. So...
They both have semi-spammable ults. I mean, Troll Warlord more so, obviously, but
He's also good
Lycan's
against
ults-
Doom. If he has his ult on already and
Yeah,
gets
that's
Doom,
true.
that doesn't matter too much. He can actually... There's nothing that stops a Lycan in ult here. They have no stun.
Pounce.
They have pounce only. That's like the
10
only
seconds
counter they have. That's a really
And
bad
that's
counter
hard
to Lycan.
to land if
Difficult to
you're already
land.
shapeshifted.
5 seconds
You expose
remaining.
yourself when you use it. So then you could get Chronoed or Lion gets Blink Hex or whatever.
Reserve
and-
time.
It doesn't matter with Doom. It doesn't matter with Viper Strike. Even the attack speed's slow. You just troll ult.
Shadow
So they're gonna
Shaman.
pick Shadow Shaman last. Okay. I think after these last two picks, I like Pacemaker's draft even more.
Mhm.
I think this is
Well,
a
I'll agree with the
really
last pick.
solid draft.
I don't know. Shadow Shaman just seems like such an underwhelming support
Prepare
these
for
days.
battle.
What is going on with my camera? What is that? I'm going to put the camera on you for a second, syndereN.
Okie dokie.
Enjoy. There
Thank
you go.
you.
Great job.
So I'm gonna introduce the teams while you get your thing fixed. So
Sounds good, man.
on the
Really
right hand
appreciate
side,
it.
we've got Energy Pacemaker Gaming with Fan playing as Troll Warlord. We've got LT on the Lion. Lei will be playing as Silencer. Luffy on the Lycan. And finally, we've got 2, in lack of the exact pronunciation of his nickname, will be playing as Faceless Void. On Team HGT, looking to contest the bottom rune, we've got Air playing as the Viper. It'll be Icy on the Doombringer.
30 seconds.
Pretty
to
Haw onto Shadow Shaman, ZSMJ on Slark, and finally Kaka onto Io. You know, if it wasn't for the star power of this team, like, arguably they probably have better players than EP. At least more recognizable names, especially ZSMJ is pretty much a legend from Dota 1. Some very talented players among them. Air made a big name for himself last year. If it wasn't for that, I would give EP a massive edge in this
The
game.
battle
But because of the
begins.
individual skill, I have a feeling they could get outclassed. We're going to see if that's the case. That's the rune, and probably also the first blood here.
If they
LT.
get one more poison attack, maybe
he
not even
is
needed, but
not
either way.
getting out of that.
He's going down, trying to go down the neutrals that have yet to spawn.
And is blocked by a ward.
Man, add insult to injury right there. Viper gets the first blood, and that's going to be quite nice for him. 450 gold. He could just get boots right now if he wanted. All right, I think my game is running nicely. Running real good.
Excelente.
Holy jeez, this Void looks like he's a Egyptian pharaoh or something with weird bandages on his head.
Yep. It's also called Ancient Crown, so I think that is the inspiration, as a matter of fact. So, good spot.
Thank you.
And he's using the Void Hammer, which does not really look that Egyptian. That looks more like...
It's also
that looks Norse.
If I'm not mistaken, the worst textured weapon in the game, and it has particles.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's very popular though. And back we come.
It doesn't
So
look
it's going to be
that
Viper Wisp
bad.
mid.
I think it used to be worse.
That could be the case.
All right, so
Case.
Io Viper versus Lycan Silencer. Pretty odd lane. I would give the edge to Io Viper when Viper hits higher levels. They're just going to keep harassing the Lycan really hard. Even Curse of the Silent is extremely annoying for Viper because he can't remove it until level 6, but Io can probably keep Viper up and running with a fast bottle, which is already coming out now in the Courier. Air will be tanking up quite a bit here, but
Waves of Wisdom, level 1.
so good.
Not too shabby. In the last Silencer game we watched, or we cast, he had, what, 26 intel stolen overall?
He had like 24 stolen at 15 or 20
So
minutes.
sick.
That was really, really good.
What are your thoughts on Shadow Shaman support? Like as a, I guess this is as a 4. That's not that bad. If you get, I guess it's similar to Line where you get a quick blink, it could be really good. And if you can have the enemies, you can punish the enemies for overextending in a lot of ways, especially if they're overextending across the map. You just put serpent wards down and help push. But it's a hero we haven't seen a lot, not as consistently as we used to.
He just got nerfed extremely hard by pushing being worse. He was a top tier pick at TI4. Then the towers got harder to push. The tier 2s got more armor. The glyph got refreshed with every tier 1. I think he's okay, yeah. With every destroyed tier 1, your glyph gets refreshed, and the tower bounty got reduced a lot. That was like every reason you picked Shadow Shaman was just to pressure those towers extremely early. Because else the comparison is,
They actually go for this.
in many cases, why would you pick Shadow Shaman over Lion now?
Oh, this is going to be a kill going the way of Viper. Comes the Tether as well to help heal him up a little bit with that last bottle charge. Now
it's
they're going to
gonna be
turn onto Lycan. He's going to try to go into the trees. They're going to get enough vision. Don't think they want to go. Although there are creeps coming in to
Surprised
tank
Air
it up.
didn't die for that one. I think they could have easily gone for that. There's a lot of creeps to
he
tank
does
the
have
tower.
a couple tangos to get out, Lycan does, if he needs to.
Yeah, that's
But
true, I guess.
I think that, I mean, they did have an entire wave, so it's tough to say whether that would have been enough damage and if they would have died to the tower anyway. But 2 kills go the way of HGT overall in the lead in this very early stage of the game. Boyd's going to be going against this Slark with that golden weapon of his and the Shatter Summon. He gets pounced on. He's going to time walk out. He's good to go. Has the early boots.
Pretty Hall is still pressuring him fairly well. This is not the worst of lanes for Void. Obviously needs to be careful with the Shackle, but since he can break the pounce, it's not...
Mid lane again.
They can't really kill them.
They're just going to punish Silencer over and over, especially when Lycan's nowhere to be found. Lycan getting a little bit greedy, going to the jungle, going back and forth. I mean, that's kind of what you do with Lycan. But 2v1 against Silencer is just no contest.
This makes me wonder, why did... We didn't really talk about this yet. Why are EP laning the way they are? They could have put the Troll mid and the Lycan bottom, and I think it would have been better on both lanes.
Yeah, that's true.
Troll can easily take the fight with IO Viper, because if he gets in, he can slow them, and then he can get in and use Whirling Axe as melee form, and then Viper is going to miss, and you just keep fist fighting them with Silencer. Instead, you have a Lycan mid who can't contest them at all yet. The Wolves are not putting out enough pressure, and the bottom lane, whatever Troll is doing, Lycan could be doing, if not even better, pressuring the tower and harassing Doom with the
Perhaps
Wolves.
they prioritize the jungle. Easier access to the jungle from the mid lane.
I guess that
That's the
could
only thing I
be,
can think of.
but yeah, it just doesn't seem like the ideal solution. I think the pros of that are quite a bit worse than the cons of what's happening right now. But maybe they want to focus on farming the Troll. Maybe they think he's going to be more valuable in the mid game than the Lycan is, but I'm not sure I agree with that though. Bottom lane, Icy.
Whirling Axe is used, but there's a Scorched Earth. Nice Impale from Lion. Gets both Io and Doom. Now he's on the run. Is the Tether going to connect to slow his movement speed? He doesn't have any boots. Could afford them. He's going to be fine. The Spirit's using to full effect as well here. But in the end, no kills. And Wisp is going to have to go back for the rune, which is denied by Lycan. Nicely done.
Yeah,
So
it's
empty bottle
very
for Io.
important. I think Io got the last 2 runes, and by that I mean the 2 2-minute rune spawns. He got both of them. So he got a bounty rune top, and then he got an ill rune bottom, I think. And it's very important for EP to deny Viper or Io the rune control, because that's the way they beat the Viper in lane. If Io doesn't get the runes, Viper will have to buy some HP regen as it looks right now, or go back to base, and either of those would be a victory for them in that mid lane. So how's it looking apart from that? Void has 8 CS to the 5 of Doom, so that's fairly even. Troll is farming the same as Slark, and Lycan is behind Viper, which is generally... It's generally not a good sign if your mid Lycan is struggling early on. He can, of course, come back in the jungle like you talked about, but you'd like Lycan to
I
have
feel
a better
like
start.
most of his time has been in the jungle, actually.
Yeah, most of his CS
I
are in
mean,
the jungle.
It feels like a core silence. Well, it almost feels like an off-lane silencer who's in mid, if that makes sense. He's just trying to leech XP as much as he can. I mean, is this going to end up being a really greedy lineup with Lion as the 5 and Silencer as the 4? We'll see. Doom and Wisp looking to find somebody. Doom does not have his ultimate as of yet. He's level 5. They're going to use this opportunity to put down a ward and chase off Silencer. Don't know if it's going to be... Okay, well, Silencer's going to go that way. Perhaps he's going to attempt to TP out. Level Death is not leveled. Impale comes as well. TP out successfully
Radiant's
for
middle
that
tower
Silencer.
is under attack.
And maybe they transition this into... No, there's not enough damage to take this tier 1 out. Not even close.
This is quite a big waste of time, in my opinion, from
Dire's
HGT,
bottom
rotating in
tower
toward
is
the mid
under
lane. They've
attack.
kept bottom lane empty for like a minute now. Troll is getting half a tower as a result. I think, was that CSMJ who tried to TP bottom and then get bashed?
I'm not sure.
I think he might have just got bashed while they tried to TP, or they cancelled the port. But this troll is getting half the tier 1 tower. They tried to dive the silencer, were not successful. They forced a TP, that was all.
Dire's bottom
At the
tower
trade-off
is
of
under attack.
missing out on the lane for about a minute and a
Dire's
half
structures
and
are fortified.
having to use their glyph and still losing 2/3 of their tower. Pretty poor trade here from HGT.
Viper about to hit level 6. Bottle is now up and running again for Wisp as he did get that bounty rune. Do you think they wait for Wisp to get level 6 before they get a little aggressive, or is Viper having level 6 good enough for now? Because if you go into the jungle, I mean, Lycan's level 6, you're not going to kill him with
No.
Viper Strike at all. Like, the movement speed stuff does nothing, obviously, once he's morphed.
I think Viper just stays mid, and if they get an opening because Silencer gets out of position, they just kill him, else they farm. And it's still a good trade-off if you use Viper Strike to force Lycan ult. I think that's fine, and they should do that. It's an 80-second cooldown on the Viper ult against the 120 on Shapeshift, which is also, I want to say, a more important spell overall. So definitely worth doing that if that's the case. But Luffy has gone bottom with his Lycan. They're looking to push the tier 1. They know the glyph is gone. And Silencer still standing okay in that mid lane. He's not getting much, but he's getting some.
I feel like the cooldown's a little bit... Here's this tier 1 bottom. Troll's going to pop his ult, and the tier 1 tower will go down one way or another. Shapeshift use on top of this. Doom and Io going to get some company from Viper. Nice impale again from Lion, who's getting a bunch of double Earth Spikes over and over again. As Troll's going to trade his life for the Wisp, which is definitely not worth it. Thought his teammates were on the way. But you're talking about the discrepancy in cooldowns, but you have to keep in mind, of course, that Shapeshift does last a while. Viper Strike's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
So it's not... It's apples and oranges. Really delicious apples and oranges.
So, okay, let's see. They got the tower. They traded 1-for-1, which wasn't the best trade in the world, but under the conditions they got the tower, I think getting a 1-for-1 is something they can be okay with, because that could have gone way worse than what it did for them. Lycan's going to continue in the jungle. He got his medallion.
Radiant's bottom
Slightly
tower
surprised to
is
see him
under
go for that
attack.
instead of the Vlad's first, I guess, for
Dire's
this
middle
game.
tower
He
is
will be
under
getting
attack.
Vlad's regardless. It's extremely good for their lineup and against the enemy team. It's like the best item in the game for its value.
Radiant's
It
top
costs
tower is
2,050. It
under
gives
attack.
3 of their heroes melee lifesteal, and the enemy team has a lot of physical damage that it blocks. So pretty incredible pickup here for them. We'll definitely be getting that. And because of that, I think he should have got it first. Over
Oh,
the,
wow.
over the
Viper's
medallion.
actually going for a hand of Midas at this point. Void, time walk out, gets sheeped in the middle of it. He'll be good to go. We haven't not seen Doom use his ultimate as of yet. And that seems like kind of a waste. They're going to pop the smoke, though. They really want to get this on cooldown. Viper does have the hand of Midas completed now.
I don't like that pickup on Viper.
I was picturing either, I don't know if they go mech anymore in Viper, but
Dire's
either
bottom
that
tower
or
is under
an
attack.
early Ags. We're going to initiation now onto Silencer. Doesn't have his ult yet. The Wisp balls are following him. Doom's applied to this line. He's going to take a right click. Look at the crit. That was actually not a crit. That was just so much damage. Lion gets denied by Void. Great play there overall as Lycan's going to pop his ult now, chasing after the poor Whips. Dies in a heap of fury. And now Doom will trade his life as well. It's a 2-for-3 right now as Viper's completely surrounded. Gets bashed over and over again. Lycan going to help finish him off with that troll. So it's a 4-for-2. Was it 2?
Did Silencer die? I think he did.
He
Yeah,
died right away.
yeah, that was a
Radiant's
4-for-2.
top tower is under attack.
And this is a really big problem for HGT. If they start losing fights now, it's only gonna get harder. Now that Troll and Void are starting to get some items, and Lycan managed to live through that fight and get some assist gold, his Vlad's is not gonna be too far away. And we talked about how greedy EP's lineup is and how phenomenal it is in mid-late game. HGT don't have that kind of power.
Radiant's top tower
If Slark
is
gets
under
really
attack.
fat, he's of course a good mid-late game carry, but the matchup for Slark isn't that good. So they need to be really careful. And I think they need to use the IO more effectively and try to skirmish instead of getting into team fights like this one where they don't succeed.
DD picked up by Lycan. Doesn't have his Vlads yet. Otherwise, he might have tried to sneak a little Roche action there, but might be a little bit risky considering
Wait, what's this ward?
what ward? On the trees? That's got to be a misclick.
That's
Bottom lane, Global Silence is used. Shadow Shaman's going to fall to the ground. Wisp looks like he's going to be the next one.
bash!
Beautiful bash. It's a 1 for 2 overall, though, as Viper is going to attempt to go 1v2. He's going to get some defense here. Defensive help from Doom, who applies his ultimate. And it's an even trade as far as numbers are concerned. Doesn't even continue the pressure. Viper, no ultimate to speak of. DD still unlike him, but does not have shapeshift for another 15 seconds. And it looks like that's going to break things up. ZSMJ, though, top lane, continue to free farm. 74 last hits. Let's look at the net worth overall. He is 3rd behind his comrade in arms.
He has
the Viper.
Shadowblade now.
You're right.
That's a good timing.
There it is.
11 minutes with treads. This is 85% of possible farm at this point, I think, or something like that. Maybe even 90.
Screw the Vlads. Just kill rush. Troll ult.
Radiant's
Aim it
top
down.
tower is under attack.
And he's going to go down very quickly.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is thinking about scouting, I think, but he's going to be too late anyway.
Roshan has fallen
Troll
to
picks
the
up the
Radiant.
Aegis. What's the cooldown on his ult? Is it 40 seconds? 30 seconds. Oh,
30.
Man, that's disgusting. That is so sick. Mid lane, we have the Pounce, Dark Pact, Silencer, goodbye. 30 seconds on the deck, 7 to 10 advantage for HGT at the moment.
But they're not leading this game, in my opinion. I mean,
Radiant's
okay,
middle
they're ahead by
tower is
2,000
under
gold
attack.
if you look at the graphs, but in terms of game plan and how greedy things are and the fact that they just had Roche claim for EP, I think them being behind by 2,000 gold is perfectly fine at
Radiant's
this point.
middle
It's
tower is under attack.
This is the time when HGT need to siege the towers and when their lineup
Dire's top
needs
tower
to use
is
what it
under
was built
attack.
for, right? They have a Shadow Shaman to take towers with, they have a Viper to slow siege with as well, and an IO to keep Viper going. That's why for me the Hand of Midas made no sense, because he could have got a fast mech, which he is now falling back on after getting the Midas, and he's actually going to get it really fast because he has 6 kills, so that's good for air. And as a result of that, maybe the Midas is going to turn out okay. But this is when they should go from tower to tower and just drop this Mass Serpent wards and try to go for it. Unless, of course, they get really out of position and get open onto the Chrono. So not just stack up 5 and start hitting the tower, drop the wards, keep Viper in front alone, hitting the tower, and then IO behind him to keep him going with the bottle. That would probably be the most solid play and give them some decent counterplay potential if the Radiant do engage. They have a Doom to play around with. They have the Slark as well with the Shadowblade, and they'll probably be able to do it.
Thought we were going to see some action mid, but the Pounce away from ZSMJ. And this is, at this point, he can solo Lion and Silencer.
This is a really fat Viper, actually. Wow. He's the highest net worth. I thought that was Slark, but it's not.
Well, Slark's been 3rd for quite a while, but Viper did overtake Troll. And like you said, did finish that mech. Probably will go for the Aghanim Scepter at this point. And honestly speaking, once he gets that Ags, that's... I'm not going to say that's his peak, but as far as core items are concerned, those are the ones that he needs. And then he can just start
Dire's
doing
middle
whatever he needs to do.
tower
Everything
is
else
under
is
Relative to
optional.
other heroes in the game, it's his peak.
Yeah.
I think after that, if you give 5,000 gold to the Viper,
Technically speaking, it's not his peak, but I know what you... I was going to say the same thing, but technically, that's not what...
obviously he gets better, right? But if you,
Relatively speaking.
yeah, if you give 5,000 gold to Viper after that and 5,000 gold to Troll, Troll will get more out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Radiant's top tower
well, they do
is
claim the
under
top tier
attack.
1, and they're going to drop the wards on the tier 2. This is really good for HGT if they get away with it. Looks like they will have to trade their tier 1 mid. Nice attempt at the knife from air. Did not manage, though. There's the Chrono.
Fine Viper.
Oh
He's
my
at
God,
half
look
HP.
at that
Blown up. Beautiful
damage.
placement.
That's
Like
a
he could just
Viper
right-click.
with mech treads and Aquila. He has
couldn't use
13
mech,
armor.
though, you know?
He's just...
Uh-oh.
It still gives armor.
There we go.
The
Sorry,
tower
what?
will still fall.
Oh,
It still
yeah,
gives
yeah,
armor.
yeah.
Deny from 2.
It was actually on
Radiant's top
cooldown, too,
tower
so you'd
has
use it
been
previously.
denied.
Yeah. It's just, you know, if you get caught in a Chrono and your team can't counterplay, you die in this game. There's no way in hell you survive that.
Well, he's actually going to live, thanks to the wand charge.
Oh, there's
Is this
that
ward
ward
gonna come
coming to
into
you.
Gets the kill in the end, thanks to the Wisp.
And they're going to get
relocate
relocate. It's
out.
probably going to bring ZSMJ with him, I would imagine. Nope.
Nope, we're good to go.
Gonna leave him to farm the Radiant jungle. BKP now picked up control. I'm a little bit split as to how good of a pickup this is. It allows him to not get, of course, hexed by Shadow Shaman and Shackled and not get hit by Pounce, but that's pretty much it. The Viper Strike goes through, Doom goes through. The majority of Slark's item build, which is probably going to be transitioning into Skadi then Basher,
Dire's
also
top
go through.
tower is under attack.
So it's kind of weighing, blocking those things against getting, for example, a Skadi himself. I think the BKB is all right, though. Mainly for as weird as that may sound, I think it's more important to block the pounce than to block the Hex from Shadow Shaman and Shackle, because he won't get them off
Radiant's
anyway.
bottom
It's like-
tower is under attack.
it's a very difficult game to play Shadow Shaman in this way.
There's going to be a tier 1 trade, bottom for top.
Radiant's bottom
HGT
tower
looks to
has fallen.
continue.
They should
to
probably
push.
go back. They're going to lose this tier
Yeah, the
2
tier
before they
2.
even reach the other
Lycan
one.
and Troll with Fervor, with Battle Trance, with the Wolves, with Howl.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, Fortification, ZSMJ forced to TP back top. The rest of this team stays, however. Serpent Wards are up, but there is another TP, although they didn't see it, now they do. Silencer's there with Lion defending their tier 2. But looking at the net worth, Troll is now on top. Just a lot of flip-flops going on. And Viper... Actually, what's Troll going for right now? So he picked up the BKB. Does he actually finish the... Wait, do you go S and Y, actually? I've seen a lot of S and Y on Troll, actually. I know you hate that item, but...
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's that
It
good.
is underwhelming. I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, you could always split it into Manta and Halberd. That's not necessarily too bad for a Troll. But does he actually go Manta?
I think Scotty's better.
So casual Yasha for now into Scott.
It's
Scotty?
great for the mobility and just the ability to farm faster in the jungle and all of that. And then I think building S and Y after you get BKB and lifesteal is just a waste, because you're now at such a pace in farming that Sanjin Yasha you build, you're going to be replacing in 10 minutes. So why even get it in the first place then? Unless if you really need the main, but then I would just say the Scotty slow is better and just provides him with a lot more. If he's in a position where he's getting that much farm, I would definitely choose Scotty here. I think it's better in every way.
Well, Scotty's also being built on Slark as well. He has the ultimate orb and point booster, so another ultimate orb and Orb of Venom to go. Void, we haven't talked about him in a while. He only has Treads, Ring of Aquila,
Radiant's
something
top
coming on the
tower
courier.
is
No.
under attack.
I think he has a Mask of Madness, right?
Does it?
Yeah.
It's on the courier?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So with that and Troll at level 2,
Yeah. I'd like to see that.
it's
Oh, man,
insanely
Doom.
strong.
Doom blinked and then had to walk a little bit further in order to get the Doom off, but wasn't able to do so. So with that little extra time walk was enough to get Void away. I think we've seen one, correct me if I'm wrong, one, maybe 2 Dooms maximum.
We've seen 2.
He hasn't had a huge impact on this game yet. And with that Blink Dagger, it's something he needs to take into effect. I mean, he's not even farming necessarily too well either. He's middle of the pack at 6,100.
Yeah. And it's going to be weird compared to the Doom games you usually see, where it feels like Doom goes in and dooms someone and it really matters. He needs to be very careful with how he uses his Doom, or it doesn't matter at all. Like, that's the scary part, is if you Doom the Lycan after ult, it doesn't matter. If you Doom the Troll after BKB and ult, that also doesn't matter. So even though he has that Blink, he needs to use it correctly. Pretty Hoss, so good.
Yes. Well, he gets the sheep on Void, so Void cannot get the kill. He's just he'll watch Shadow Shaman die as a little piglet.
He lost some int, though.
Indeed. But he's an intelligence hero, so he should have enough mana capacity to use the spell, especially considering his support doesn't have to go for...
I'm picturing Silencer eating people's brains when they die now.
Eating their brains.
He
eating
kind
their
of
intelligence.
takes like part of their intelligence.
It's like Hannibal Lecter.
Radiant's
He
top
is basically
tower
the
is under
mask, he's
attack.
It's basically the intelligence punch.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Oh, this is a tower that needs to be defended by EP.
I feel like an intelligent Pudge would just be Pudge with a top hat, so... I don't like your reference at all. Sorry.
So top hat makes you clever, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a monocle.
That's true, though. That's undeniable.
Monopoly monocle.
Oh,
Counter
there
ward
will be
here at the
counter warding.
Ancients.
I'm not sure why I'm saying, oh, there's nobody there.
The Ancients are, and they're getting destroyed. Oh my goodness. Lycan with Necro Book level 1.
Almost
along
2.
with those Vlads. Might as well have a little bit of an
And
item progression.
HGT look content to farm.
Yeah,
and
it seems like that.
I think they should be worried. Just from looking at their heroes, the composition in general, if the gold difference is 0 at minute 40, I think the Radiant are going to win this game. But perhaps they're banking on outplaying. He will be getting the Sanjin Yashi you were talking about. I still don't think this was that
If
good.
he turns it into Manta and Halberd, do you think that's a good option?
The problem is I think the Halberd is actually fairly good in this game because he gets a lot out of the evasion, and disarming Slark is definitely useful, but it's just, I still feel like if he does Halberd and Manta, he's going to need to replace one of them fairly soon anyway. So it's probably not that good. I don't know.
Wait, what do
We'll
you say it again? What do you mean?
If he splits the Sanjin Yasha into 2 items, he's going to want to replace one of them fairly soon because he wants a bigger one.
Oh, I see.
So it's like, yes, it's an investment for now, and it's the same with the Sanjin Yasha. You don't want to keep this in a 60-minute game. Like, he will be selling this eventually for a big item.
You really think he... I mean, I guess so. I mean, I think Halberd is just super good. It forces Slark to get a BKB, which he doesn't want to go. He's almost done with his Scotty, by the way. In fact, he might already have it. Yeah, there it goes.
The thing about building this Sanjin Yasha is he could have built a Manta instead, and then he could have disjointed Viper Strike. And that's like... That's a huge deal in this game. It's one of the best counters to Troll. Of course, he still has... Or, to Troll in this game, rather. He still has good attack speed with Battle Trance, and it doesn't matter that much, but I still think it matters more than the main, if we look at it that way.
Yeah, the MAME I don't think we should look at as an important part of that. It's a little underrated. Ever since they added the sound effect, it's been picked up a lot, and that's obviously the reason why people are picking it, right? But anyway, is it 10 or 15% slow? 16% slow, okay. That's a 16% chance.
It's a 32% slow.
Oh, damn.
It's a pretty good slow.
Thought,
that's not the problem. Maybe it doesn't feel like that much, but it's a chance, right? And you don't... It's not reliable. Scotty is reliable.
Yep, that is true.
This is a really poor decision from the Radiant.
They're going to go for Roach. They're actually going for it completely. They're committing. Fortifications pop. Serpent wards are placed.
Okay,
and HGT, if they knew what was happening, they would have gone balls deep there. Now they know. Blink in, Doom onto the Faceless Void. Now we see a global silence coming to effect, and that means the Doom is completely wasted. It's essentially a trade of global silence for Doom, which I'm pretty sure EP is going to be happy about here. And they get the Aegis.
Okay, so in hindsight, I said that was a poor decision from the Radiant. I thought this push was going to go faster from HGT. Like, they go in, they drop the Serpent Wards, and they just start banging away at the tower. But like you said, they didn't know that EP were at Roche. If they knew that, that would have been really dangerous for them. They would have probably lost at least the range tracks, maybe even both. But using the uncertainty of or the lack of knowledge, rather, from HGT there against them, and they managed to snipe a Roche for tier 3. I don't know if that was that good of a trade for either of them, to be honest. I want to say it's fairly even because... Oh, then again, if HGT reached the base again and dropped the Serpent Wards, that's when it gets scary, right? So I want to say that trade still favors HGT unless EP really gets something extremely good out of this Aegis. Like either a tier 3 themselves or a 3-for-0 fight or something like that. Else this was not enough. So we'll see. They're going for high ground. They don't care. They know Doom is on cooldown.
They have Wolves, they have Howl, they have...
Yeah, this is pretty huge. There's no Doom, there's no Mass Serpent Wards. They could just go for this. This is a really good play call.
Fortification popped. Viper Strike is up. Last words applied to him right now. And there's the Halberd we're seeing picked up by Viper, applied to Troll, who doesn't really give a crap about it. Has the Aegis, of course, still has BKB. Doesn't really need to use it. Look at the damage from the Necro units onto Viper. Almost dead. They're going to do some chip damage. BKB popped really early for Troll, actually. That was questionable usage. Chronosphere used on ZSMJ. And the Finger Mana Drain as well. Too much damage to speak of. He does have buyback like you're talking about. He's going to use it. Troll uses Aegis, so it's a trade of sorts. And he is going to attempt to run away. Viper, poison attacking his. There's the Doom. It's finally off cooldown after all this time. An attempt to chase him. ZSMJ looking for a kill. Silencer will TP out. Looks like Air will finish off Troll Warlord with absolute ease. Now Viper, I'm sorry, ZSMJ, trying to catch this Void. Has no mana whatsoever. And here comes Wisp with the help of ZSMJ. That's actually not fast enough. This is surprising. And they might actually get the kill. Oh, the Wisp is going to go down. ZSMJ stuck here. They might be able to do some chip damage to this tower, but the Serpent Wards are up.
But yeah, you made a really good point there. The BKB usage from Troll was very questionable. He had Aegis, he used it on basically nothing, and they were already forcing down the barracks without the BKB. So him wasting it there was really costly. Else I think they could have done more there. The Chrono, which killed ZSMJ, also caught the Troll in it on the edge, so that was unfortunate for them. But overall, they did not get enough out of that Aegis. That should have definitely been more useful.
They just hesitated a bit. I mean, they knew Doom was down. At least I assume they did. And then in the midst of the fight, it came off cooldown, and that's when things changed. But Serpent Wards used yet again to get a tower. HGT. Gonna make a little comeback here. Little dips in the graph. I mean, the gold is in their advantage right now, but not by that much. And as far as core items are concerned, Shadow Shaman does have Blink Dagger, so similar to what Lion brings, instant initiation is possible. Lion, though, is not farming well because he is basically the 5, I'm assuming. Let me see Silencer, yeah. Silencer is more like the 4 of this game. And they're gonna smoke up, try to bait somebody into possible initiation. Doom has Aghanim Scepter. So now you definitely don't want to Doom Lycan if he's ulted, because he's just going to run away from that. I mean, it does a lot of extra damage, obviously, but don't ever underestimate the power. Actually, it works against Fervor, too, doesn't it? That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Takes off Fervor. Any other passes to work with? I guess Backtrack.
Yep. Bash. Time Lord.
And Bash. That's true.
Dooming the Void is the best target, if they can do it before he Chronos. If they do it after he Chronos, it's a waste.
And they're smoked up on the back end.
Good defensive
used.
Oh, they
Doom
did Doom
applied
him.
to Faceless Void. He's at half health already, and here comes the relocate into an Impale right away, but Viper's going to be able to get the kill onto that Lion. That's 2 dead right off the bat for EP. It's actually 2 for 2 right now with the 2 buybacks from HGT. Viper dies as well. So 3 for 2 right now. Troll gets pounced on. Do they have anything to cancel the TP? There's the Hex. The right clicks to follow. Should be enough to finish him off. TPs are there, though. So a lot of trades.
I think
No damage to
they
any
only brought back
structures.
1, right? It was a 3 for
HGT
2.
bought back 2.
They did?
Yeah.
Io and who?
I think Shadow Shaman.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So 3 for 3 with double buyback. That's a victory for EP. Even though they lost 2 cores, Lycan got out alive, and under the conditions the fight was taken, they didn't use Chrono. He got doomed early on and just got run down. So I think they can be pretty happy with that trade and maybe even consider going again, although now they need to be careful. Luffy, he needs a TP. He's going to get one. He needs to use it too.
Use it.
He's dead.
And Hex. There we go. Down he goes. So they're going to find another kill on the back end. He does have buyback, but not going to really need it. I don't think there's any push incoming. Actually, Serpent Wards are up, but they're quite a ways away. Racks are exposed at top, though, so it is a possibility. Roshan is going to be... Well, the Aegis is obviously gone, so we'll know in a couple minutes when he will respawn. And with that, DSMJ now has 2,400 gold. What do you go for here? Do you go for the BKB? I mean, it's really...
On Slark?
Yeah.
I think Abyssal...
Doom applied to Troll, who gets the Whirling Axes off. He's going to run back to base. Chronos for use from a defensive measure. Gets the Impale from Lion. Doom. Down he goes. And actually, Troll Warlord's going balls deep even with the Doom applied. Doesn't have to worry about the Aghanim Scepter coming into effect as far as going to be close. But he's going to fall in the end. This is a 4 dead for EP, HGT.
That
Are they
was
actually going to get Rex?
not a good Chrono. That
Buyback
was-
from Troll. I didn't actually see if it hit anybody. I thought it was just a zoning one.
Yeah,
Wow,
he
they
didn't-
lose top racks completely. The melee racks is down. Didn't even realize the Serpent Ward's replaced here.
He didn't catch CSMJ in it. I think the idea of the Chrono was just to hold Slark away and kill Doom, and he didn't hold Slark away. He just delayed him a little bit. He ran around the Chrono and came into the fight afterwards. If they're going to lose 2 lanes now because of that one mistake, that is devastating. They'll lose
Looks like
one.
they'll get the tower, attempt to run away.
Oh, Air doesn't have buyback.
The right clicks are going to be so
He's gonna
hard
die.
with this Lycan. My goodness.
That's 1 minute they
That's
have.
1 minute, yeah, on the deck for that Viper. ZSMJ looking for a little pickoff, but not going to take the risk, and probably the right choice. Has 4,400 gold. Does he go defensive measure in BKB, or does he go Abyssal Blade?
I think...
I mean, Abyssal Blade is the ideal item
Yeah.
against Lycan. I mean, that's the hero one of the heroes you're worrying
The
about.
thing about the BKB is that he's almost exclusively getting it against the Lion, because he can reliably dart pact off anything else than global, but BKB also doesn't really counter the global if he BKBs first. So I don't know if it's worth it getting a BKB only for that. I think to some extent it is, but okay, he thinks that is. Because the thing is, if he doesn't get caught by Lion now, or now he can just go in a line
Bounces
or
on
do
the Troll,
exactly
pops the
this.
BKB, trying to right-click.
Oh,
Look
oh.
at Troll go! He's right-clicking so freaking fast, but he's going to end up running away.
CSMJ dies now. That's a disaster. He needs to not
SMJ pops the
overextend.
BKB with his ultimate. There's the Doom applied to Troll. Looks like that should be enough to get the kill. Not sure if he can deny. Doom will trade his life in the end. Troll Warlord will fall. There's no way you're living.
Oh, there's
this.
the Chrono!
Chronosphere. It's going to catch
Really
air.
good Chrono, too.
Half HP right now. Do they have enough right-click damage to take him out? He's going to get the Viper Strike out, but look at the bashes from Void. The right-clicks will suffice yet again. Down he goes, but here comes Slark against the Void. Destroys him. But this is going to be a Rax one way or another, so it's a 1-for-1 Rax in the end. Can they defend any more? Pounce.
Oh,
Not gonna hit
nice
anybody.
Blink Stomp.
Silencer. taking a lot of damage from ZSMJ. He's going to find his kill. Lycan should be able to TP out. Level Death is on cooldown at the moment. And with that, it's a 1 for 1 rack. Raw. This is insane.
Radiant's middle tower
This is extremely close, and that was one buyback. Only Doom bought back for HGT. But it's getting really scary now. Whoever makes a mistake on their half of the map could just lose the game, because both teams are actually really good at taking down towers and barracks. So the next Roshan, I think, is going to be absolutely huge.
Yep,
and he's
HGT
spawning
with
in
Serpent
30
Wards
seconds.
and Overcharge. That's their main push. I guess Nether Toxin too is pretty good against buildings as well.
Yeah.
And EP. I mean, EP pushes a little bit faster, obviously, because of all the minions, Howl, Troll ult, and just overall harder right clickers. But Roshan is going to be the contestation point, I think. And this is up in like
He's going to
30
spawn
seconds.
pretty much simultaneously with Troll. So both teams will be ready to fight. Their Chronosphere's up in 30.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower
very
What's used for this
hard.
tier 2. This
Yeah.
is an important thing to keep in mind. They're not going to have this for any Roche fight. We'll see if that actually
Radiant's bottom
matters
tower
here.
has fallen.
Only time will tell. Doom. This Aghanim Scepter has actually worked out quite well as far as just the extra damage you get. It's been enough to take out pretty much everybody he's applied it to. Doesn't even need... I mean, he just dies right off the bat, but he gets the Doom off, that's a kill. And that's been really nice. That's why the Aegis is going to be such a big deal, especially for EP.
This is huge right now. There is no Serpent Wards. If the fight breaks out of the Roche pit, that's pretty good for EP. Doom in a precarious position here. He might try to... If he gets the flank here...
Oh, is he clicking M move on the Wolves, just following the enemy team? That's really smart.
And this positioning from Icy. This is really ice cold. Just standing here for so long in such an important moment. He's now going to blink to the right. They obviously neither saw nor heard that. And the top lane is pushing in. This is smart from HGT. They're just holding. They're waiting. Someone will eventually have to go back and defend this, and when they see that TP, they might try for the Roche. But the tier 4 is still pretty decent buffer for quite a while. Because of that, they can't try to contest the Roche. There is no vision for the Dire, apart from the Roche ward.
Doom is
Radiant's
still
middle
down
tower is under
Oh, there's
attack.
the smoke. This is
This could be
perhaps
game
the
right
deciding
here.
fight of the game right here. If a fight even breaks out.
They're going to attempt to go for Roche, or they're just going to fake it. Yeah, they're gonna
Doom
be
is
sneaky
really
now.
far away. He's going to TP now.
TP's to the tier 2 at bottom lane.
ZSMJ!
They better hurry. ZSMJ blinks in.
Radiant's middle
Gets his Dark Pact off. Here's the Chronosphere. It's only going to hit one, but it might be enough to take out Viper. He's at half HP. A lot of evasion thanks to the Halberd, but the Aegis is taken by the Troll. Gem drops to the deck, but does this matter? Troll gets ultied by Doom. Of course, he has the Aegis, so it's not going to really matter in the end. Can they do enough damage to take out Io? Looks like one more right click will suffice. Make it 2. And down goes Wisp with another gem. That's the same gem, in fact. Lion, absolutely no mana to speak of. ZSMJ is going to hunt him down and take him out in all likelihood. Level that's going to help take him out. So it's a 3 for 2. Aegis still online for EP.
And Cheese.
Who has the cheese right now?
Lycan has it. He hasn't used it.
Okay. Do they regroup or do they actually go for this right now?
I think going for the base now is the wrong call. They're going to do it. He used the cheese for this. They're actually... Wait, what?
That was... Oh, no, he wanted to pick up the
Radiant's
gem.
middle tower
Yeah, I
is
don't know
under
if that
attack.
was... If that was worth
Perhaps
the
the
cheese. The
medallion.
cheese could
Middle
end...
tower
Like,
has
could be used to end the game with.
I feel like a lot of
Dire's
players
middle barracks
underestimate
are under
cheese,
attack.
competitive players.
It's
Radiant's
extremely
middle
good.
tower
Well,
is
a
under
tier 4 is
attack.
down, by the way. And the next tier 4...
And another thing about the cheese is the only thing that could prevent him from using it is Doom. And Doom doesn't want to Doom the Lycan. Like, there's no other way he
Right.
gets held in place until he loses 2,000 health. So...
And here we have a Slark sitting at 6,000 gold. There we go. It's a Basher into Abyssal soon. Gonna save a little bit for buyback. Let's see what the buyback stats right now. He does have it along with Viper and Io, and that's it. And there's only 2 people that can't buy out just because of timer-related issues. One of which is Troll, which is only another 40 seconds.
Yeah, he's getting close to his own Scotty.
This has been the closest game by far today.
Yeah.
And
It's only
huge
35 minutes
implications.
long. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
this is a 50-minute game.
It's true.
But it's just been so much happening, and already Barrack's been lost by both sides, so... I still want to say HGT are probably in somewhat of a lead, but it's kind of weird when you think about it. They're 10,000 gold ahead, and they have a lineup with a Doom with Ags, and the fights are still close. It's just the power of this man-fight lineup that EP have, that if they get in and they get to open the fight, they're just so strong. Even that previous fight that they ended up getting a fair trade in, they had a Void Chronosphere Viper and try to kill Viper alone and failing and then dying. If he gets a better Chrono, that fight is just over. I cannot imagine HGT, and that's with a 10k gold lead. They cannot win a fight against a good Chrono. It's just not possible. So they need to be really, really careful.
And good luck getting away from Troll now. He has not only S and Y for the maim, as well as the movement speed, but now Scotty. So you are not going anywhere if he focuses on you. Of course, he still has the Aegis, which...
Yeah. HGT would love to get that for free, as it looks like they might be able to. He's going to get hexed.
He gets hexed. He's at half health right now. Here comes the perhaps Chronosphere, but the global silence is there. It's going to be a solo Chrono for the Shadow Shaman. And with that, HGT runs away.
Out. That was Chrono and global for Shadow Shaman kill. That's a... I think
so
you
once
can
Shadow
consider that a
Shaman
win
is up,
for
do you
HGT.
think HGT goes balls deep, or is the Aegis...
I think they
scary?
wait out the Aegis. That's the better play, at least. Waiting out the Aegis here. That will, of course, also mean that both Global and Chrono are up again, but I think the Aegis is too important. Killing Troll twice with this amount of armor and health that he has is going to be a really big problem for them. Because that's the thing about him. They can't ignore him. You saw, even when he got doomed, he still was able to trace down and kill off the IO. So...
And he was... Wait, was that in the last fight, or am I going crazy that he was doomed with Aegis? And he didn't die. I think that was the last fight.
I think that was the last fight.
And he didn't die. That's insane.
Yeah.
And that's an Ag... Of course, it is a level 2 Doom with Ag, so not quite to its fullest potential. How is he farming right now? He only has 1,200 gold. He has Ghost Scepter, so going for the survival route. Don't think this is going to be an ethereal.
That is really good against the Radiant lineup, though. But
yeah,
I don't know
using
if
it like on your teammates, because obviously Ghost Scepter you just use on yourself, but has there been a scenario where it's true,
it could be game-winning if he Ethereal
Chronosphered.
Slark when he gets Chronoed, for example. But I don't think he goes that route. I think he will be thinking the Refresher is the best choice now. Either that or Shiva's for more armor, and the attack speed slow is really nice against the Radiant lineup. Yeah. Even though, once again, Battle Trance kind of overtakes everything, but everything that drops that attack speed really does make a difference.
Slark at 22,000 net worth, along with 19k on Viper. Not often you see a 40-minute game where Viper is actually up there in the farm department. Typically, he tapers off a bit. Yeah. He has the Halberd and Assault now. What's that?
Air has a lot. He definitely does. This 4k gold, I think he will... I think at this point you invest some damage into Viper. He's tanky enough for sure.
Crit, MKB? What do you like on this hero?
Or Hex.
That's not damage.
Actually, it's damage against Void, because it removes Backtrack.
Okay.
Or, no, it doesn't. Wait a minute. What am I talking about? It removes Evasion, not Backtrack. So, no one has Butterfly yet, right? No. So, no indirect damage from the Hex either. Never mind. Well, I think... I'm still surprised he hasn't got the Ags, to be honest.
SMJ.
I still think Ags is a worthy pickup. Even 40 minutes in, I know it sounds crazy, but the cast range and the cooldown against this lineup of EP, it's kind of shocking he decided against an Aghanim Scepter and Viper this game.
This late, you think going Ags over damage is worth it?
I still think so. The cooldown reduction and the cast range is huge. He can... Unless if the plan is that he wants to get Chronoed, or that he expects to get Chronoed, because then it's not that useful, but... Well, for me, it's between Ags and MKB, I would say. And I can understand the reasoning behind both, but I think he's going to go for the MKB.
SMJ's going for the kill on Luffy. He has an Abyssal Blade. Here comes the IO as well to get the kill. The Chronosphere is too late. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Here's the initiation from Shadow Shaman. Doom applied to Fan, and the block with the Serpent Wards. He gets 4 stats. That's the longest shackle I've ever seen in my life. Fan at half health. He gets the level death to the face. He's going to attempt to run away. This is, of course, an Aghanim Scepter Doom. Do they have enough damage to take him out? They are chasing so hard. I think this might be enough.
He's dead.
It's going to be close. We have the Doom watch. Meanwhile, mid lane, ZSMJ doing a lot of damage to these barracks. He's going to get one.
Never mind, he lived with 15
through the
health.
Doom. Oh, man, that is a big something. Well, the Doom didn't get the kill. That is actually unbelievable. And what level is he? He is level 16. So it was a level 3 Doom, I believe, unless he just leveled up.
ZSMJ, is he going to get out? Like, the most important thing that happened right there was that Void used an absolutely pointless Chrono. No matter what that Chrono he used was nonsensical, right? He tried to save the Lycan, but the Lycan was in the middle of the Chrono he cast. So even if he would have got it off before Lycan died, he would have stood there and then just died afterwards. Right. So kind of a panic moment here from EP. You can understand it. It's a really tense moment in every...
Well, typically, this late, you would expect Void to have more in the farm department. So perhaps one Chronosphere would be enough in a normal game for him to get the kill, but definitely not the case right now.
Well, he
with
didn't
this
even try. He just dropped the chrono. Lycan was dead and he ran off. So it was basically just a waste. And that chrono could have maybe saved their barracks mid. That was the thing. Because then CSMJ can't go for that play he just did. So
it's a full racks mid,
expensive
full racks
mistake.
top.
This is getting...
That's looking really good for HGT.
Yep.
This has been a back and forth game overall.
But at this point, it's all about mega creeps or nothing, to be honest. I really think EP are still totally in this. And usually when you're down 2 racks at 40 minutes and 20,000 gold, you would expect, okay, this game is over any minute now. But I just still think their lineup has potential. I think you made a valid point that Void is just underfarmed. And if he had more, then they would be looking a lot better in this. But I also think it's hard for him to find the farm with Lycan and Troll just constantly farming the jungle and the lanes. I think they should give him more space, though. Farm on Void now is more valuable than farm on Lycan, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Doom. Did you catch whether that was a level 2 or level 3 Doom?
That was level 3, I think.
Are you positive? Because, okay, here we go. This is a level 3 Doom with Aghanim Scepter. This might be enough for the kill. As long as he stays close. There's the Chronosphere, but Io...
Oh, CSMJ ran into
CSMJ
it!
runs into the Chronosphere. Looks like
Doesn't
Void
matter.
will not get out. The level death destroys his face, and Lycan will fall to the right clicks of ZSMJ and the Doom. And that is 2 enormous kills for HGT. Can they transition this into another Rax in the bottom lane? There is a buyback on Void, but not Lycan. And that is the bigger deal. We talked about Void not having any farm. He doesn't even have Chronosphere right now. Can they hold this? Serpent Wards are placed.
Trolls should have
CSMJ
buyback.
right-clicking. Here we go, the global signs.
Oh my God!
Angered. He's going to die! 110 seconds on the deck. He does have buyback, however. Viper getting right-click, getting bashed completely. Is Io going to take him out of here? No, relocates down for another 15 seconds, trying to give as much HP as possible. Then
They can't kill Air with that
Sheep
part.
on Fan. Looks like Air will finally fall, but it takes the entirety of EP minus Lycan to take him out after a 15-second right-click
Tier
battle.
4.
Tier 4 goes down,
Radiant's
and now
middle tower
the throne is
fallen.
exposed. Man. And even Ross.
Lion. Okay.
What happened to Lion?
He was almost dying to creeps. Oh boy. Well, they can't make that mistake again. Then the game is just over. And it's very difficult to play super late game 2 racks down against an IO because you want to push out the lanes, but relocate can always be can always just end the game if you get any sort of sensible kill close to the enemy base without a buyback. So any more mistakes like that from Lycan, and I think they lose. But that was a really good hold.
Relocate
Troll
bottom.
sees it coming.
Doom and Wisp trying to find Troll.
This is kind of funny, actually.
He
They're
seems
gonna
to
ping
know
him
what's
out.
up.
Shadow Shaman.
Oh, Shadow Shaman.
Oh, he's
They have
staying
any
up here.
vision
This is
here.
really, really good play from Fan. He's going to see Shadow Shaman now as well because of the dragons flying out and attacking him.
Oh, did he attack?
Oh,
he just
no.
canceled an auto attack, I think.
There's an orb hitting. He's visible.
Uh-oh. He lost BKB.
Oh,
doesn't
no.
have a teleportation. And this is going to be a huge deal for able to take him out. They see Roche is up, and this might be an all-in play for Roche at this point. I don't blame them, honestly. As something is delivered. Or maybe just scouting it out. Yeah, they're going to take out the courier
has been killed.
for a little dump
And send in
courier.
their own. Here comes
Doom
Pod.
blinks in. He gets Chronosphere right away. The right clicks and the Finger of Death are enough to take him out. Serpent Wards are not placed. He's going to get bashed down to death. 2 dead just like that. Again, a buyback from Doom. Can they get Roshan in time? Here comes Wisp and Viper. Air's going to get in the middle of things. Aegis and Cheese are taken. Doom jumps in. There's the Doom applied to Fan. But of course, he has the Aegis, so how much does it really matter? Look at the right.
They're all hitting the tanky Viper.
CSMJ with BKB. Look at how much damage he is doing. Along with the Abyssal Blade, they are cleaning up. 2 left alive, along with the Aegis coming back up. Troll will pop back up. And the right clicks commence. Can he actually see Wisp here? Going for the kill. Tries to get a whirling axis. The right clicks might be enough to take him out. Indeed it is. Pounce is going to connect. And here come the right click battles again. 3 versus 1. Troll trying with all his might to get this kill. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Oh, the blind!
Look at the evasion. Good God. Finally, he will be brought down to death.
He has buyback.
Oh, man.
He really doesn't want to use that, though, because he has a butterfly if he doesn't buy back now, but I think they're going to force him to. I mean, EP, they're showing some really good signs here. So are HGT. I think HGT right now are winning on superior decision-making. They're just making some better calls, and some of the overall, like the overarching play calls from EP just leave something to be desired. The global from Silencer was wasted, if you remember.
He has 2, by the way.
Yeah, he has Refresher, so that was good. But if he had 2 there in the fight, that would have been huge. So he wasted the first global to try to save Troll, who cannot afford to get caught like this.
Oh, he's getting slowed by the poison touch and gets Abyssal Plated again. BKB is not quite up for ZSMJ. In fact, it is actually. Impale's going to connect onto Shadow Shaman, and Fan, a couple more right clicks will do it, but he's going to get 4-step into the base. He's going to be fine, but it's going to cost them their poor silencer. And here come the Aghanim Scepter Serpent Wards, and it looks like HGT will take this, and they will go 3-2, still alive in this wild card. Great game. Wow. HGT living up to their name.
Fighting for that hyper glory.
Hyper glory team. I mean, I have to say, I was super surprised by EP. They played extremely well. A couple of mistakes here and there cost them. But overall in this wildcard, they have impressed.
Based on the expectations for this team, I think they're the ones that have surprised the most. It's in this game, what I was getting at is that it comes down to when it comes to some of the clutch decision making in the end, the global silence is wasted. The fight at the Roshan pit, they keep laying into a Viper who has Heart, Kiras, and the evasion from the Halberd. And they kept trying to kill that Viper at the Roche pit. I think Troll spent about 6 or 7 seconds laying into the Viper when there was another target next to him. They just kept trying to hit the Viper whose goal in the fights is basically, come at me. That's exactly what they wanted. I think that fight could have gone differently in the Rush Pit had they not gone for the Viper, and maybe they would have killed another hero and it could have snowballed from there, but instead, that combined with the global silence waste and a couple of whiffed chronos or unideal chronos really, you know, at the end of the day, those late game decision-making mistakes from EP, you can't really blame them. They're not that experienced of a team compared to HGT, but they put on a show. So
Absolutely.
Very impressive.
Shout out to Energy Pacemaker, whoever you actually are. If you're a sponsor, if you're just a random name, you have impressed to say the least. So HGT is 3-2. They're going to be tied with Wings Gaming as they beat Na'Vi. What was their head-to-head? Might as well just go over this now. What was Wings versus...
Wings beat Na'Vi.
No, Wings versus HGT.
But you said Wings beat Na'Vi.
Yeah, Wings beat Na'Vi.
Okay.
Yes.
Wings HGT was in the favor of HGT.
Okay, so HGT has that, and then the question is what's happening with Speed Gaming.
Yeah. If
So we don't know.
Speed Gaming beat PR, then we could have a 3-way tie, right?
Perhaps, depending on the matchups.
Then Speed
head-to-head.
Gaming...
So you're saying Speed Gaming beat HGT, which I think I remember you saying.
Speed beat Wings and HGT.
Oh, okay. So,
Right?
so then that means Speed would win.
Let me check.
Wouldn't it? They hold both tiebreakers.
Yes, that's true. So,
So
if
if-
Speed beats PR, they're actually... They
So
should,
there's no tiebreaker. So
they
if
should
Speed
be the
wins,
winner, I think.
If Speed wins, they're second place.
Yeah.
If they lose, HGT second place.
Yes. That's what it should be from what I can see here.
Okay.
Unless I misunderstood something, then I think that's the case.
All right, so this may or may not be the last cast of today. Of course, group stages are going to start tomorrow. It's going to be a grueling 5 days of a lot of casting, so we hope you guys stick with us. Perhaps beyond the summit, the mainstream there might be a game going on right now. I'm not sure.
It's either that or BTS2. Well, we can check that. It's BTS2. I think it's Coddle Guy casting the final game of the initial part of the wild card.
Speed Gaming PR, yeah.
And if we understood correctly, this is the last game of today. So make sure you check that out, Beyond the Summit 2. And we will be back again tomorrow with the actual round robin, the group stage, starting at 8 p.m. PST.
Bye, friends. We love you.
Goodbye.